Well, welcome to yoga this morning. I'm excited to see you today. Um, we're just going to find a comfortable seat to start. So sit on the edge of a blanket, and that's going to prop your hips up a little bit as the knees fall down. And if you've already closed your eyes, just open them for a moment. I want to show you the card I pulled today, which will help theme our yoga practice. It's the Three of Swords. It looks kind of crazy, doesn't it, with the heart, and it has three swords stabbing through the heart with a man in agony on the ground. And that looks terrible, doesn't it? So let's close our eyes, oddly, with this horrible picture in mind, and just start to rest into this imagery, and maybe resting into your own heart as we soften through the knees, the toes, the hips, and start to breathe in a little more deeply through the nose. As you're inhaling, that belly's filling and softening. And as you're exhaling, that belly's drawing in, softening the shoulders again. You can always place the tip of the tongue behind your two top front teeth. This is going to help you to soften through your jaw and through the skin on your face. Eyes are closed, crossed, drawn up to the third eye center, pituitary glands. And then when the whole body starts to soften and the breath starts to ease, let's drop into that heart center again. Imagining, if you will, those three swords stabbing through your own heart. And these really represent any betrayals, any losses, any grief that we're harboring from the past. So maybe consciously using your memory bank to allow those feelings to arise, and just honoring those feelings, naming, claiming that emotional state. When that happened, I felt betrayed. I felt a sense of loss. I felt a sense of grief. And just tell yourself it's okay. It's okay. Let's start to do a circular box breath. So as you're breathing in, maybe count 4, 5, or 6 ohms. At the top of the inhalation, hold that breath, the same amount. And then you'll exhale the same amount. And at the bottom of the exhalation, hold that breath out the same amount. And sometimes just the breathing in, the holding, breathing out, holding, that's enough for the mind to settle. Or add a visualization. Let that breath start at the crown, make a circular pattern all the way down to the base of the spine. And we inhale back up to the crown. And as you're breathing in this circular pattern, I want you to start to think about the number 0. 0 is where we begin. 0 is before 1, because out of 0, all things arise. 0 is the unmanifest and the manifest. 0 is the before, the during, and the after. And then back to those deeper emotions of the heart that we hate to process. We really do. So we just hold them. We store them in the heart. Understanding that your thoughts, your emotional nature, they are the 0. They're the beginning, the middle, and their end. They're from where all thoughts, actions, and deeds arise. And so as we harbor these deeper emotions, not processing them, we initiate a life that isn't as joyous as it could possibly be. So take a big breath in. Exhale, go ahead and roll your chin down to the chest. Let that head hang heavy. Soften through your shoulders. Soften through that belly button again. Inhaling deeply, exhaling, pulling the navel more towards the back of the spine. If tension has crept up in your toes, soften the toes again. Soften your fingers. And we're about to inhale, rock the shoulder right. Exhale, chin back down to the chest. And then inhaling, head to the left. So just keep that rocking motion going. Do notice if there's any tension you're harboring in the neck or the shoulders. And name it and claim it. Maybe it was stress, or maybe you slept funny. If you're having a lot of tensions in the shoulder and in the neck today, we're just going to keep ourselves very mindful to send the breath there, to keep sending softening there. Beautiful. Start to make those full head circles as we do. If your neck is bothering you, you can always inhale, look left, exhale, look right. And of course, we're always turning our movements into a pranayama, a breath connection. Beautiful. Let's slow that down just to take that head in the opposite direction. And then just coming to stillness. Big breath in, big breath out. And then let's go ahead and we'll lift our arms up to the sky. Take them into a nice wide V. Flex through your hands, heels of the hands pressing towards the sky. Soften your shoulders as you're looking up. Big breath in, big breath out. Bend the elbows, bring the eyes to level, close them, cross them, draw them up to the third eye center again. Yogi way of prayer, praying for knowledge, light, illumination, or others. Beautiful. Inhale, reach up for the sky. Let's go ahead and take our left hand to our right knee. We're going to inhale, look left over that shoulder. Exhale, look right. So just let's keep that neck moving. We're working out any of the aches and pains. And you can hold that visualization of that circular breath. And if you need to think, let's think deep contemplation of the current quality of our life in relationship to any loss or grief we've had in the past. What if we could let that go? Where has that gotten you? Is it serving you? Beautiful. If it feels good, look over the right shoulder and just pause there, maybe pressing down through the sits bones a little bit more. Crown of the head rises. Soften the space between the organs of digestion. Send that white light healing breath there. Beautiful. Inhale, reach those arms up, look up, stretch through the wrists again. Open the heart to the sky, and then we'll twist right hand to left knee. And again, we're inhaling, looking right, exhaling, looking left. And maybe your contemplation is finished, or maybe you don't want to go there. That's okay too. Start to think to yourself instead, I'm breathing in, all is well. I'm breathing in, all is well. Take that gaze over the left shoulder, hold it there. Again, we press through the sits bones. Let the crown of the head come up. Soften all the space between and send white light healing breath. Beautiful. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring the hands in front of you. We're going to roll onto hands and knees. And I know you love to go right to child's pose, but let's just hold for a moment in a tabletop. Let's curl the toes. Make sure your fingers are spread like starfish. Let's do some barrel rolls and let that head get super loose. So bending right elbow, bending left elbow. And don't be afraid to build some heat here. Get the joints hot, especially if your neck or shoulders are bothering you today. So just keep it moving. Keep that breath moving. And take it in the other direction. Beautiful. Come to a neutral spine. Now let's inhale that heart forward. Rock it over the hands so the wrists stretch as well. Exhale, round through the spine. Draw the tailbone towards the heels. Inhaling, moving in a circular motion. Let that breath be circular. Really, it's so interesting to think about how you don't really have any new thoughts. All of your thoughts are built upon the past. And all of your thoughts, not only are they built upon the past, but they're built upon how you feel about the past. What if we could change how we feel? What if we could introduce a little compassionate understanding? You know, why do people do what they do? Beautiful. Let's go ahead and draw the tailbone back a bit. Don't come into child's pose though. Walk your hands forward like spiders. Look at your hands. Wiggle your hips a little side to side. Almost like you're drawing a smiley face with your hips. That head can start to get super loose again. Deepen the breath. Beautiful. Now push back through the tailbone as we walk those spider fingers forward. Maybe the forehead can come to the mat. Toes are still curled, so this is very active. I want you to start to massage the forehead side to side and wiggle the hips. Maybe now we're breathing in and we're breathing out forgiveness. Beautiful. Let's come to a full child's pose now. The hands can still stay sticky on your mat, pulling the spine long, pressing through the tailbone. If you want to work the knees wide and work your belly down between your thighs, that always feels good. Lovely. Let's drag those fingers towards our knees, come sitting on your heels. If you can get your heels into your sits bones, it releases the top of the feet perfectly to the mat. You get a beautiful stretch there. And with the heels in the sits bones, you're actually stimulating digestion, which helps you to go. We like that, don't we? Let's work through our shoulders a little bit more. Take your 4 fingers to the front. Thumb is to the back. Soften for a minute and just forget about your feet. I know it's uncomfortable. Inhale, those elbows come up, and exhale, bring them down. Inhale up and exhale down. And it's okay to move a little bit fast here. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Build some heat. Inhale up, hold it. Hold the breath. And exhale down. Drop the hands to the earth. Inhale, look up. And exhale, roll the chin down. Inhale, look up. And chin comes down. And as we're looking up, and let's face it, we're all aging here, right? I hope we're all aging. the, the opposite would be terrible, right? So as you're bringing that chin all the way up, feel the skin. Drop into the consciousness of the skin. You know, our skin starts to sag and loosen because the muscles supporting it underneath start to rapidly deteriorate post age 40. That's the bad news, right? Beautiful. Level the gaze. Now, let's take the hands to the thighs. Inhale the shoulders up and exhale, let them fall down. Inhale, up, down. Inhale up, hold it, hold the breath too. And exhale, release down. Now roll the head again. See if you can't roll it a little more rapidly. And other direction. Good. Shoulders, neck should be loosening. So let's walk back to our hands and knees now, tabletop position. If you need to kind of beat the tops of your feet to get the energy moving, roll your feet around on your ankles. Let's look at our hands. We're gonna lift the knees just to hover. Just keep breathing. Feel the mounds of the hands pressed into the mat. Fingers look like starfish. We're gonna go into crouching cat, drop the heels, or I'm sorry, draw the sits bones toward the heels, looking at the hands, pause there, hover. Deepen the breath, let the heat build in the thighs, the shoulders. And then let's bring the tailbone back up to the sky. First down dog. Let's just be a little fun here, maybe even a little sloppy. Rolling the body around, rolling the hips around. Beautiful. Let's come to stillness here. So bend the knees a touch, work the tailbone high, let your gaze go to your thighs. Pressing down through the heels, let's squeeze those thighs together. And we are standing in a symbol of strength. So breathe in and out your strength. It's your strength that has gotten you through the complexity of these deeper emotions. Oddly, it is also your strength that has allowed you maybe to hide them, to not deal with them. But the subconscious mind is so powerful. We're creating our future by the way we're responding emotionally, subconsciously. So the practice of yoga, of meditation, is to clear the karma of the subconscious mind. That's the automatic reaction you have to anything. Beautiful. Let's take those knees down to the earth. Good job. We're going to get that right foot between the hands. So even if you have to reach down for the ankle to press it there, if you use blocks, have them handy, put them under your hands. Let's inhale that knee forward and exhale. Bring that leg back. We're just rocking forward and back. As you rock back, flex the foot. All right, let's rock that hip back. The front leg is straight. Now slide your hands or your blocks back. We're going to inhale to a half lift. Get the spine straight. Lead with the heart to fold forward. Take that right foot a touch to the right. Not the knee, not the shin, just the foot. Pull back on that right hip. You can let your head roll down. One of the big problems with not dealing with our emotional nature is it continuously comes back in this circular karmic loop pattern. So if you've been betrayed and you not deal with it, subconscious mind attaches to that, and you find yourselves in this similar situation again and again and again, situation of betrayal, fear, grief, loss. You can put the emotional state in there. Beautiful. Go ahead and bend that front knee. We're going to lift that back knee now. Let's do those circles I love to draw. Draw that big circle with the right knee. And as you're drawing, massaging the hip, start to let that leg get straighter and straighter. And don't be afraid to take that hip all the way out to the right. We're building some heat there. Beautiful. Let's take it in the other direction. It's okay if you get a little fatigued with this. Beautiful. Let's bend that front knee now. Drop the back knee to the earth. You can bring your hands to your knee to push that front knee forward. Let's get a stretch through that left thigh. If it feels good, lift your arms. Look up, soften the shoulders. You got to smile. Go ahead and smile. Beautiful. Exhale, hands to the earth. We're going to press the hands into the ground. Lift that back knee. We're going to step into a three-legged dog. So that right leg goes up to the sky. And once it gets there, let's draw some rainbows behind us. Inhaling up and exhaling down. All right, we're going to crisscross that leg behind us. Keep it there. Bring both knees to the earth. Legs stay crossed. You got it. And let's come into a little twisted child's pose. Soften your fingers. Maybe just let the tips of the fingers touch. There's a little prayer they use in a healing practice. I think it's called Ho'oponopono. So beautiful. You just say, you know, I'm sorry. I forgive you. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. I forgive you. I love you. And thank you. Beautiful. Let's come on up. Uncrisscross those legs. Let's come back to that down dog. Again, you can make this own, or maybe you're enjoying stillness today. In stillness, we bend the knees. Sits bones rises up. Press through the heels. As you're exhaling, that belly starts to draw to the back of the spine. We hitch it in and up, and we pull up on the pelvic floor, toning the inside of the body, because just like the muscles on the face, the inside gets a little soft too. Beautiful. You can either step the left foot forward or bring the knees to the earth, reach down for the ankle, draw that foot forward. Again, if you like your blocks, get a hold of those. We're going to inhale here, exhale, straighten that front leg. Inhale, bend, straighten. As you're straightening, flex that left foot. And as you're bending, bend enough that, you know, you don't bother the knee at all, but the right thigh releases a little bit. All right, let's straighten that leg. Slide your hands, your blocks back. Flex that foot. Inhale to a half lift, straighten the spine. Press forward with the heart. Roll the chin down and pull back a little bit on that left hip. And just keep breathing. Connected with that breath. Every inhale lengthens the spine. Every exhale, the heart goes a little bit more towards the earth. Beautiful. Bend that front knee. Lift that back knee. We're going to draw those circles with the front knee, intending that leg will straighten with our focus on the hip. Take it in the other direction. Beautiful. Get the heat building. Don't be afraid to move a little more quickly. All right, now bend that front knee, put the back knee on the earth, bring your hands to the knee to press it forward just a bit. Get that beautiful release through the right thigh as we lift the arms, roll those pinkies in to soften. Just keep breathing. And every breath in, opportunity to white light healing to the heart. Every breath out, opportunity to shift just a little. Oh, lovely. Let's bring the hands to the earth. Lift that back knee. We're coming into that three-legged dog again. So do as you need to. Sometimes you need to come through the tabletop to the down dog and then just lift that leg. Draw those beautiful rainbows behind you. Work through the glute as you do this. Being mindful not to collapse into either hand. Crisscross those legs now. Right knee comes down, left knee comes down, twisted child's pose. Again, push back, and then soften the hands, maybe even flip the hands, palms up, let the fingers organically curl. And just keep breathing. Thinking to yourself and breathing in all is well. Or, I'm sorry, I forgive you, I love you, and thank you. Beautiful. Let's inhale, come on up. Bring the knees to the earth. Let's shift a little right and left. And then let's come back to that down dog. Let the head hang heavy. Press deep, deep, deep through those heels now. Beautiful. Exhaling, drawing that navel into the back of the spine, pulling it in, hitching it up, and then pulling up on that pelvic floor deeply. Just keep breathing. And then we're going to look at the hands and gently start to walk the feet to the front of the mat. Once you get there, you can move your blocks to hold on to them or just fingers to the earth. We're going to inhale to that half lift. Bend the knees softly, hinge at the hip creases. Pressing forward with the heart, head hangs heavy. And let's do those little rocks that I love. As you inhale, come to the toes, lift the heels. As you exhale, rock back to the heels and lift the toes. Inhaling forward and exhaling back. You can hold on to your blocks. And if it feels good, we're going to rock to the heels, lift the toes, and just pause. Stay here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, heart comes forward, head hangs down. Just keep breathing. Beautiful. Let those feet come to the earth. Heel toe the toes to touch now. Come to the heels. Fingers are on the earth. Let's bring the knees wide around the elbows. We'll inhale, look up here and out, and then exhale, fold. Inhaling. These are froggy squats. Look up and out, and exhale, fold. And you can always do these fast or slow. So they say our karma lives in our hips. Makes sense to me. You know, the lesson of karma is to always make the best choice in your moment. And that's for, thought as well. So as we notice deeper emotions arising, it's an opportunity for us to readjust, redefine. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and fold. Get those feet back under the hips. Bend the knees a little bit. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Bring the hands through heart center. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Let's do this a few times. Inhaling, reaching up, follow the hands with your eyes. Bending the knees softly to fold. Heart leads the way. And let's think about maybe the fact that we're moving our lymphatic system, elevating the oxygen in the blood, and of course, lengthening and strengthening every major muscle group. Beautiful. Let's exhale, fold. Step that right foot back. Pause in your raised runner's lunge. And then we'll step back to that down dog. Bend the knees, push the tailbone high. Inhaling deep into the belly space. Exhale, pull that navel to the back of the spine. And then let's rotate the shoulders over the wrists. Take a pause here. Big inhale. Exhale, knees, chest and chin to the earth. Slide to the belly. Hands are under the shoulders. Shoulders in, elbows in. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, release. And just keep moving. Beautiful. Now exhale, release. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Slide your hands forward a good 1.5 feet. Put the hands on the edge of the mat. Let's come into seal pose. Inhale all the way up. Shoulders are off the ears. Let's inhale, look left. Exhale, look right. And maybe as you're inhaling, you can look up and then over. See if you're scrunching through your toes. Let that go. Beautiful. Inhale through center. Exhale down. Slide your hands under your shoulders. Knees, feet aligned with the hips. Add a little modified push-up. And we'll come back to down dog. Beautiful. Maybe press it out. Wiggle the hips. And then look at the hands. Step that right foot there. Step the left foot there. Standing forward, fold. Inhale, rise up. And bring the hands through the heart center. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we fold. Right foot steps back. Let's make sure our feet are nice and wide. We're going to come into a crescent warrior. You can always seal the back foot and do warrior one instead. Inhale, lift up. Soften the shoulders, roll the pinkies in. Keep breathing. So you're exhaling, navel's pulling to the back of the spine, in and up. Exhale, hands to the earth. Let's step to that down dog. Pause here for a breath or two, pulling the belly button to the back of the spine. And then let's rotate the shoulders over the wrists. Plank position. And in plank, make sure your bum isn't up and your hips are not down. Take a big inhale, maybe count to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, knees, chest and chin. Slide to the belly. Inhale, come into cobra. This time we'll hold it. Pull the shoulders off the ears, elbows down and in. Keep breathing. Press through the pubic bone. And then exhale, release. Add that modified push-up to come to down dog. Settle the breath. Settle the mind. All is well. I'm sorry. I forgive you. I love you. Thank you. Every situation is some karmic lesson we either learn or don't learn. The people who have harmed you are still an expression of the divine, imperfect as it is. It's not for us to be so judgmental, so critical. The other person is you. Let's take that right foot, place it between the hands. You know we're coming into raised runner's lunge. And then we're going into crescent warrior. So you can decide to seal that foot just to get you up, because that's the hard part. That's the balance part. And then we lift the heel, softening the shoulders, roll the pinkies and look up. Keep breathing, expressing through the heart. Inhaling, exhaling, pull the navel in. Inhaling, exhaling, hands to the earth, step forward. Inhale, rise up. And bring the hands to heart center. Beautiful. Inhale, reach up, exhale, softly fold. Right foot, let's step it back now to warrior one, which is going to feel like a piece of cake at this point. You got it. Bend that front knee, soften the shoulders, keep breathing. Take a big inhale, exhale, let's open up warrior two. And in warrior two, make sure that foot, that front foot looks like it's on a railroad track. Bring the knee over the ankle, look down, see your big toe, and just keep breathing here. I love this pose. If you're a little energy sensitive, you can start to play with that ooey goo between the earth and the nadis of the hands. Keep breathing. Then we'll flip that left hand, reach up for the sky, heart opens. Take a big inhale. Exhale, cartwheel to the earth. Step into down dog. Let's rotate those shoulders over the wrists. Take a big inhale, exhale, knees, chest and chin slide to the belly. Inhale, we rise up. Exhale, release. That push-up to come back to down dog. And just think about maybe working up a little sweat, maybe having to breathe a little bit more deeply, and allowing the energy of physical movement to also move the emotional nature of the heart. We're going to step that right foot forward. So get it there however you do. Take that back foot, seal it as we rise up into our warrior one. Get the energy out of your toes. Open through the heart. There's no energy in the lower back. And just keep breathing. Take a big inhale. Exhale. Open to warrior two. Make all those little adjustments we always talk about. Exhaling, pulling the navel to the back of the spine. In and up. And then we flip that front hand, reach up, look up, heart leads to the sky. Take a big inhale. Exhale, cartwheel to the earth, step forward. Let's inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold deeper, maybe taking your hands to the backs of your ankles, just pulling you in. Your head is so heavy. Shake it yes, shake it no. Beautiful. On your next inhale, rise up. Bring the hands to heart center. Beautiful job. Drop your hands by your side. Close your eyes. Let's just breathe here. Inhaling, we're sending the breath to the beating heart, feeling that heart. And then we're going to send that heartbeat to the palms of the hands. And you're going to sense it literally beating in your palms. And then we gaze through that third eye center. Eyes closed, crossed, drawn up. And the yogi way is to place an image of the divine, what you relate to personally as divine, in that third eye center. And then we send a beautiful message of merging through that third eye center. Beautiful. Bring your hands to heart center. We're going to step back with the right foot. We're going to hinge and turn towards the far edge of the mat. From here, let's turn our feet out left and right. Lift the arms to the level of the shoulders, bend the elbows, and let's sit down into our what we call fiery angel or goddess pose. Sinking down through the tailbone. Keep breathing. And this is a really great place where we pull that navel all the way into the back of the spine and up. And you can really feel that pelvic floor engaging. Beautiful. Let's make a little pelvic floor adjustment. So inhale, come on up. Exhale, we're going to fold halfway. Take a little pause here. And then bring your hands to your ankles. We're going to bend the knees like we're sitting down. Press your elbows into your knees back into your elbows. And we're just going to rock a little side to side. And this is a great way to, on your own, adjust your pelvic floor. So sometimes the whole pelvis tilts out of balance. You feel like one leg is longer than the other. It's quite common. Nothing to worry about. Beautiful. Let's find some stillness in this. Pressing down through the tailbone. Keep breathing. Beautiful. And then straighten the legs. Bring your hands below your shoulders. Inhale, half lift. Take your feet out a little bit wider. And then walk your hands forward. And we're just going to rotate our shoulders over our wrists. That's the inhale. And then exhale, push back through the tailbone. Inhaling forward and exhaling back. And then we exhale back, maybe pressing the hands a little bit closer in. Just wiggle them back an inch. Maybe lift your toes off the earth. Feeling every inhale lengthen the spine, every exhale that heart is getting closer, closer, closer to the earth. Beautiful. Inhale, come on up. Now walk those hands even more deeply and maybe heel toe the feet together just a touch. Depends on how wide you got. Turn your feet out left and right. And we're going to start to bend into the right knee and then bend into the left, going for that inner thigh stretch. It's okay to come to your fingertips. Using blocks. Bend the right knee now. Stay there. Slide your hands towards that right foot. Sit down, sink down into this. You can always lift the toes of the left foot. And then take it to the other side. Same process. And letting that foot come to the earth. Walk the hands all the way to the front of the mat. Step to your down dog. And then child's pose. You earned it. Knees are wide, big toes touch. Get that belly between the thighs. And just let go for a moment. Reconnect with your breath. Maybe thinking to yourself, I'm sorry. I forgive you. I love you. Thank you. All right, let's start to come on up onto our heels. And we won't stay here. You can slide right off those heels and come into a nice seated position. Let's regroup. So bring the hands to the knees, maybe roll the shoulders up, down, and back. Close the eyes, cross them, draw in that form that you hold to be divine. And let's go back to that circular box breath. Inhaling 3, 5, maybe 7, holding. Exhaling the same, holding. Beautiful. Let's come lying down on our back. If you have a block, bring it with you, but not necessary. If you have a ponytail, take it out so it's not on the back of your head. Let's bend the knees here. Let the palms press into the earth. And just let the spine soften, the hips soften. Notice where you're holding the tension, send the breath there. And then you bring your arms overhead, reach for opposite elbows. Slide the feet to touch the soles of the feet and let the knees just fall open for reclined butterfly. Connect with that breath again. Beautiful. Let go of the elbows, reach down for the knees, push them together. We're going to go into either legs, just straight to the sky, feet flex, or supported shoulder stand with a block under your hips. Or if you have a practice, full shoulder stand. If you do go to full shoulder stand, make sure your hands stay connected to your lower back the whole time. The intention is to align the hips over the shoulders. With the ankles, feet are flexed. It's like you're standing on the sky. If you're in that full shoulder stand, you can go into plow or just bend your knees and let those knees drape down by your ears for elephant. Beautiful. Bend the knees. Place the feet on the earth. Either roll into a bridge, or you can turn the block if you were supported up one and do supported bridge. Make sure your feet, your knees, your hips are aligned. Arms are by the sides. Palms are pressed down, or hands can interlace underneath the spine, walking the shoulders in. And we're going to squeeze the thighs like we have a block between them. And remembering this is the only pose that could possibly open all of the chakras. Let's deepen the breath. Beautiful. Start to lift the hips a little bit. And we'll roll the spine all the way down. Bring the knees in. Give yourself a hug. Rocking a little left, a little right. Beautiful. And then let's bring that right knee in, left leg straightens, and we'll just pull that knee down to the left side of the body for a twist. Right arm can go out, palm down, and look to the right. And again, let's, in our twist, softening the organs of digestion and sending that white light breath there. And gently releasing to the lower back. Bring the left knee in now, right leg straightens, and again, we twist. Beautiful. Gently let go. Bring both knees in. Do a little rock, a little roll. And you have time if you want to add any final pose before we go into Shavasana with the gong. So you go into Shavasana, make this the treat of the day. So take a blanket, at least put it over your chest. You can toss maybe a t-shirt over your eyes. And if you're new to the gong, just let that vibration wash through your subtle energy field. It's truly a cleanse on so many levels. You can start to take a big inhale and exhale. And Introduce any small movements that feel right to you. Rolling the wrists and the ankles. Maybe enjoying a big full body stretch. Arms overhead, interlacing the fingers, flipping the palms. And then bringing the hands back down to the heart, rubbing them together. Make a little bit of heat. And then take those warm hands and either press them over your heart or over your eyes. And bless yourself. And then gently rolling to the right. In seed pose, making a pillow of your arm. And just setting a little seed here, a little intention. And maybe that intention can include looking into some of those deep emotions of the heart. We can remember, we can journal, and we can release through our little prayer. I'm sorry. I forgive you. I love you. And thank you. Beautiful. Let's push up to seated. We'll bring our fingertips to forehead center. Bowing in gratitude for this practice, for this day. Thank you for sharing it with me. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.